Well, hi there. This is Bruce at Fleet Capital Management. It is Friday afternoon, the 31st day of October, 2025. Happy Halloween. And another difficult week. I didn't think it would be, but it was another difficult week. We'll take a look at that and what we may see going forward. We always start by saying that the video presentation is intended for educational purposes only. The discussion of any security is not a recommendation to purchase or sell the security. You know that I'm always available, Bruce at fleetcapitalmanagement.com. Saw this quote, loved it because inflation is rising. It says inflation is when you pay $15 for a $10 haircut you used to get for $5 when you had hair. Love that quote. I think it's hysterical. I have been saying since the beginning of this year that we would see inflation start to rise in the fourth quarter. Um, it's here. No question that it's here. Maybe not as strong as I had expected, but it's here. Um, Today is also the 31st day of America's government being shut down. Um, Being a self-employed person, tomorrow I have to write thousands of dollars of my money to send to the IRS, and I'm wondering why we have to send in our tax money when we don't have a government. Tongue in cheek, tongue in cheek. Don't call the IRS. I'll send the check, I promise. Talking about inflation, this is a chart of Chipotle. Chipotle makes those burritos. You probably have them wherever you are living. Look at this. Look at this. It's been falling, but then it fell off of a cliff. Why did that happen? It happened because the CEO said in one of his calls that younger diners are pulling back. They can't afford Chipotle anymore. I have heard from the CEO of McDonald's, of Burger King, that fast food is becoming a luxury. Think about that for a second. And I say that when fast food becomes a luxury, your economy has a major, major problem. People can't afford housing. I get that. But when you can't afford Burger King, McDonald's, Chipotle, Subway, there's a problem. There's a major, major problem. This was in the paper today. It said tariffs are expected to start showing up more in consumer prices as holiday shopping season starts. What a great time. Well, uh, all of this, by the way, is tariff related. There's really nothing that's not tariff related. This is all tariff related. Health insurance premiums. This came out today. Health insurance premiums are rising for Main Street business owners and employees with little relief in sight. And if you don't follow politics, which you're probably very smart not to, this whole government shutdown is because the Republican side wants to cut out a number of the subsidies that are built into Obamacare, as they call it, love to call it, the Affordable Health Care Plan. And those subsidies are used by people who have, very low incomes, and they get subsidies so that they can have some level of health care. The Republicans want to get rid of that, and the Democrats said no. And so that's why we are on the 31st day of this shutdown. This shutdown was supposed to also include on Sunday, 2 days from now, an end. It would run out of what's called SNAP benefits, which is really food assistance. I forget what they call it, but it's income that the low income receive. It's money that the low income receive to help supplement their food. And that was going to run out on Sunday. Well, there is a huge reserve of money for that program. And a federal judge today said it must be used. Trump did not want to use the reserve specifically for food assistance for low income, but a federal judge just overruled him and said that money must be used so that the SNAP benefits don't run out. We got problems, guys. There's something wrong in our country, and I hope it gets fixed. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You know I'm always an optimist, but Things don't look good to me. They don't look good to me. Anyway, there's always some bad news. So we focus on the market because I've been doing this long enough that I have seen terrible news and the market goes up another 15%. I have seen that. So we will focus on the market. That's the most important thing. Going over to our matrix updated today, you can see we are pretty much back in the green. The VIX is slightly elevated. It goes to green when it's at 17. Not bad, not bad. And here it's saying this is government shutdown day number 31. But for the most part, the markets are in a bullish trend. That's what our matrix shows. Let's go over and take a look at it. Here is the S&P. On the left, this is the daily chart. The right is the weekly chart, meaning that each bar represents 1 week of trading. I like to look at the weekly. It's smoother and it's easier to see certain things. This is a bull market. This is my white is the 2 week moving average, which I just use. It's kind of a trading signal. The green, more importantly, is the 10-week moving average. The blue is the 20-week moving average. Don't worry about the yellow. That's more of a 40-week, something I use. I should even take that off. Um, this is a bullish configuration, and they are pointing higher. On the daily, the blue is the 20-day moving average, and it's pointing higher. The orange is the 50-day moving average, and it's pointing higher. And the white is just my 3-day moving average. It's a very fast indicator that I use to tell me when I can and shouldn't add any trades. So, yeah, there's a lot that I'm worried about in the economy. There's a lot that I'm worried about going on for the global economy, all due to US tariffs. Um, but the markets say we're in an uptrend. Seasonality speaking, November is among the best months of the year, one of the best months of the year, usually, seasonally speaking. So we're just going to keep buying stocks. We're just going to keep buying things until we're proven wrong. We bought Nvidia a little while ago, and we bought it down here. If you can see my white line, right there is where we bought it, and it's doing fine. We bought Garmin and got killed. GRMN because there was an earnings miss. My live stop was up here. You can see that the market closed on a day right here, right where my pointer is, and it opened all the way down here. Okay, that's called a gap down open, and it skipped our stop. And that happens. It's not frequent that that happens. It's infrequent, but it happens. And it skipped our stop, which gave us a much larger loss than we would have expected. Um, Bitcoin. Let me show you Bitcoin for a second. I have an actual live stop in the market just below where Bitcoin is. And well, actually, this was yesterday. Today it went up. If Bitcoin, I believe that Bitcoin's going to be fine in the long term, but right now I'm seeing a very long sideways consolidation that tends to be breaking down. And let me show you what I'm talking about as far as that goes. What I'm seeing is if I go from this low to this low, that's lower, right? If I go from that same low to this low, it's lower. If I go from this low, I can do this all day. It looks to me like it's breaking down, and I don't want to see that. Okay, so because of this breakdown, there is we already broke through a 1 week area. Well, actually, we're just above the 1 week area of support. We had broken below it, and now we're back up. I've got a live stop in. So if Bitcoin gets down to this level, I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to immediately start looking to buy it again. But it'll take time. I need to see a reversal of this trend. So we're in that. Let me show you gold. We did get stopped out of gold. I wish we didn't, but we did. Right down in this area. It's now up just a little bit. Um, I'm going to keep my eye on this because we may be going back into gold next week. I'm not sure, but we'll just take a look. But I didn't want to see it, it was falling pretty fast, and I felt like it was prudent to put in a stop to protect the profits that we had because we had really strong profits. I think we were up on average about 38%, if I remember correctly. Um, just, you can see on the weekly chart, it's lost some momentum. The RSI has started to come down. The volume support has started to come down. But if this green line, which is like the 50-day moving average, it's very much like that line, but if that holds early next week, if that does tend to provide support, I'm going to probably go back in because I think we still have a lot of problems with the government and with inflation, and that's when gold tends to do well. Um, I was a little surprised to see how weak it was, but not surprised after such a huge run up. So again, I wish we wouldn't have gotten stopped out, but I just felt it was the right thing to do to protect the profit. What else did I want to show you in here? I went into this stock for my stock traders today. Today, I went into it's an energy company, and where this green line is, that was a 5% first target. We went up there. I sold half the position and captured that 5% gain. And then I put a stop down right by where we went in, our entry point. And the reason I did that is because I figured worst case scenario is price comes back down, we get stopped out. We have a net gain on the trade of 2.5% in one day. Now, obviously, what I'm hoping is Monday, this thing opens back up and we continue to run. I'm really working hard on trying to figure out the best way to manage these trades because we're seeing a lot of quick gains, but in some instances we're leaving money on the table because it continues to rise. So I'm trying to find that balance for you right now. I did put in that stop. We're either going to get stopped out on Monday morning or it's going to turn around and start to head back up. Not sure, but I'm working on all of this. And that's one day. And even if we got stopped out and we had 2.5% on that stock in one day, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's not a bad rate of return. So I'm working on everything. I did for ETFs. I did add one new security. The symbol is THNQ. It's Global Artificial Intelligence and Robotics ETF. We went into it right where my white line is. It's sitting right where my white line is. Why did I go into it? Whoops. I went into it because if you see this blue line, area of resistance, we had broken above that. I actually went into it right here. And when it broke above that, it looked like it was breaking out of some level of consolidation. And I decided to go in and buy. And my indicators were suggesting a buy too. So I'll watch this, but that is something that is new in the portfolio. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's it. So bottom line, going back to the S&P, bottom line is we're in a bullish configuration. If I go to the NASDAQ, same story. We're in a bullish configuration. We're moving into November, which is seasonally speaking a very bullish month. We still have our government is closed, so I don't know, when that's going to take its toll on the market. But for now, we're in a bullish configuration, and looking at one of the best months of the year, probably one of the best 3 months of the whole year. So we're going to load up, and I'll do research this weekend and buy more stocks on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. I'll just keep buying, and hopefully making these 5%, 7%, 10% gains until we're proven wrong. But right now, we're good to go. So I hope that answers a bunch of questions. If I have forgotten to cover anything that was on your mind or a question that you have, you know what to do. All you need to do is shoot me an email, Bruce at Fleet Capital Management, or go to my website, go to this top button, click on it. You'll see my calendar, and we will have a Zoom call scheduled. So we can just talk. We can talk about any questions you have. We can talk about your portfolio. We can talk about year-end strategies, whatever you want. This is the best method to get it done. Okay. Have a great weekend. If you're into baseball, game six tonight of the World Series. It's been a tremendous World Series. Can't wait to see tonight's game. And fall is here. Hopefully, you get some cool little kids at your door tonight. Don't give them anything healthy, they'll really hate you forever. So give them the garbage and let them have fun. And I will talk to you Monday morning. Bye bye.